Yo, what's up, guys? It's the MMA analyst here to give you my recap for UFC on Fuel 3. Alright, so first things first, I did do a betting picks video for this. I'm kind of like contractually obligated to get out my picks regardless, so I put up a horrible cell phone image and I had to do all types of craziness to get it up, and it's got a watermarking on it because like I just had to do it at the last moment because I couldn't get this computer to work. It is working now. I'm gonna make that video live so that you can kind of see how the betting picks go. Anyways, on this card, how'd I do? I think I got 3 wrong on the card. Finally, back on some kind of decentness going. Whew, man, it's been tough. But anyways, what did I get wrong? I got Johnny Eduardo wrong. I got Igor Pakrayats wrong. Did I really? And Sung Jung. All right. Anyways, now, good news. I've got everything back going. I think I know what to do in the future so that this doesn't happen again. So here's what we're doing. Number 1, this Thursday, I got my interview with Miesha Tate. I'm working on hooking up my next interview so that I can continue with the interviews and whatnot for BetMMA radio, podcast. So, this is how it's going to work. You got to go over to BetMMA.ca, all right? And if you want to submit questions, I'm telling you right now, if you want to submit questions, sure, people are going to talk in the YouTube thing. Talk all you want. It's all good. I'm not going to ignore them. A good question is a good question. But what I want to do is kind of get like a back and forth dialogue in between the actual videos so that we can talk. So there's a forum on BetMMA.ca. Sign up. All right. Miesha Tate interview. What are the questions you think I should ask Miesha Tate? Also, what are the things you want me to cover in this first BetMMA podcast? All right. So you go over there, and I'm still working on getting the site up and running properly, catching everything up to date, all that good stuff. All right. But the forum's ready to go. So while I get the news and everything all caught up and all that good stuff, let's see what I should talk about for the first podcast, which I will be recording. The actual recording will be probably after the 19th, right? Yeah, so I'll record it probably on the Sunday every week and then put it up by the Tuesday of every week, and then I'll have the interview the previous week before. All right, so there you go. So BetMMA.ca, sign up. If you have any issues, let me know. And let's get moving with this. Let's get some work done. All right, now down to the card. All right, it was actually a very good card. A very good card. There were lots of fights that somebody fought and they're like, "Oh, I got fight of the night," and then somebody else got it and they're like, "Shoot, he got fight of the night," and then they all got screwed because the main event was probably the fight of the night. We're gonna see what Dana White has to say about this here. But anyway, start with the main event, Sung Jung. Sung Jung, this is the same dude that got knocked out by George Root. I gotta look back. This is the same dude. Then he went on to beat Leonard Garcia. All right, well, he already did that. Then he went on to beat Mark Hominick. We're like, all right, well, that was a fluke. Then he went on to finish Dustin Poirier. What's popping off with this Sung Jung dude? For real. Mad props. Clearly he, has stepped it up. He's still a little wild, but, he's good with the strikes. Champion. If he becomes a champ, I'll go crazy. How's that going to happen? But, regardless. Well-rounded. Exciting. What else do you want from the dude? He's willing to go out there and be the Korean Zombie, but he's not really willing to go out there and get knocked out by George Roop anymore. Solid win for Sung Jung. Very surprised at the win. And congratulations to him. Third win in a row. He's been doing well in the UFC. His only real loss recently was to even then the George Roop was in the WEC. So in the UFC, he's actually 3-0. The loss to George Roop, we know that was that was the only real loss anyways. And then his Leonard Garcia loss, well, that was a damn win. That was the robbery of the year. And then prior to that, he's doing his thing. So congratulations. I think I'm done, slobbing him down. Pause, congratulations to Sung Jung. All right, Amir Sadala versus Jorge Lopez. Situation with Sadala is what it is. Not to take anything away from Lopez. Did he win that fight? Did he not win that fight? Look, it was close, all right? It was definitely close. It could have gone either way. But, Sadala is just so, there's just certain folks in the UFC that they get the extra love, and the commentators are buddies, and everybody, they win Ultimate Fighters or whatever the situation is, right? And that's Amir Sadala. He is consistently at the bottom. He's made his UFC debut, his MMA debut in the UFC. His first fights were in the Ultimate Fighter, so he is deserving of all of these, I would say, new fights. Johnny Hendricks, that's a bad fight for him. We know that. And Kim Dong-hyun, anytime he fights any of these guys, Dong-hyun Kim, anytime he fights any of these guys, he's in trouble. But when he fights the lessers, the DeMarcus Johnsons, the Peter Sabatas, the 65-year-old Phil Barones, he does all right. George Lopez, he almost came away with the win here. Amir Sadala just has to continue to improve. He cannot be comfortable with his striking. He's got to get better. He's got to improve. He's got to become more aggressive. He's got to become more defensive. He's got to do a lot of things because he clearly has lots of holes, and he's new. It is what it is. But if I got to keep watching him as co-main events, even for UFC on Fuel fights and whatnot, then I need him to improve so that I can watch him and maybe root for him one day, because I was actually kind of rooting against him. I don't know why. Seems like a really nice guy, but I don't know. So, anyways, I picked him, but, All right, Donald Cerrone versus Jeremy Stephens. This is what we thought would happen, folks. I'm glad things that should happen sometimes. Donald Cerrone's all around the better fighter. Much better with the strikes. Jeremy Stephens has some power. They talk about Jeremy Stephens. One of the best uppercuts in the UFC. Come on, man. He's got an uppercut, and he's knocked a couple people out with it. But come on, stop. He's a solid entertainer. But best uppercut. Come on, stop that. Striking wise, he doesn't have the best anything. He's just willing to strike, and he's better than, I would say, most, because most are pretty bad. Donald Cerrone's not most, and he picked him apart. Congratulations, Donald Cerrone. This is back on the winning track ever since his loss with Nate Diaz, which at the time I thought, wow, Nate Diaz, but now Nate Diaz, whoa. But anyways, congratulations, Donald Cerrone. What's next for him? I'm not sure, but I'm sure it'll be a tough fight. Yves Jabouin versus Jeff Hoagland. Man, I had some problems picking this one because I know Yves Jabouin is just take him to the ground and he's dead. But I remember with Jeff Hoagland, I'm like, he really doesn't mind standing, and he needs to take fights to the ground, and he doesn't mind standing. So I said, you know what? Hoagland, he hasn't learned how important it is to win in the UFC yet, and he won in his last fight in the UFC. And you know what? He's gonna come out there and he's just gonna stand with Yves Jabouin. That's what he did. And he got whooped. He got whooped for it. Congratulations to Yves. Man, that referee. Man, that guy's a bloodthirsty animal. He let Hoagland take mass. I'm not saying stop the fight. He should have. But, there have been people in worse situations than Hoagland taking worse damage that came back. But man, he really just let this dude take damage. Congrats to Yves Jabouin getting a nice little flashy win. Yeah, his Walao Watson, we knew that he didn't win that, so it looks like he's on a 3-fight winning streak, but he's not, but he is. All right, so robbery of the night, Fabio Maldonado. Man, this guy's got it. Like, these, man, I don't know, man. I wonder who the judges were. Because, and let's be real honest here. Please, UFC, okay, you like exciting fighters, don't get rid of Fabio Maldonado. To be honest, he needs to get fight of the night, too. He had fight of the night against Cal Kingsbury. That was a close one, but it didn't look like it according to the judges. Was unanimous. And then one of the judges. So before it goes down, I'm like, all right. So here's what's gonna happen. He's gonna get robbed. I already knew that. Maldonado's gonna get robbed. But how is he gonna get robbed? I said it's gonna be 29-28 for Maldonado. For two judges, we're gonna go 29-28 for Patriot, and one judge who's gonna go 30-27 for Maldonado. That's what I figured. So they go all, Judge 1, Judge 2, and Judge 3 all go for one guy, and one is 30-27. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Woo, that's good. Maldonado got the win. No. One of the judges gave dude, man, these judges don't know what they're doing, man. They don't know how, like a lot of these guys, it's crazy. They're actually boxing judges or come from a boxing background, and they can't understand what a dude beating that body up, just throwing real combinations. I would say if you want to take a look at the more damaging single shots, you take the 10 hardest looking shots of the fight, you say, okay, Patriot's landed all of those. But if you say who just absolutely threw the crisper strikes, who was, just doing the real damage, I mean, to me, it was Fabio Maldonado. So now he's 0-2 in the UFC. Amazing boxing. He got a crazy chin. He's got too good a chin, to be honest. I think if his chin was a little worse, then maybe he would cover up. But he doesn't care because, I mean, he's been in like 23 fights and taken a lot of damage, and he won't even drop. Pacrites was hitting him hard. So, anyways, he's 1-2 in the UFC. I forgot about the James McSweeney situation, so at least he's got that. But yeah, man, stop robbing Maldonado. Maldonado, man, he's just so much more technically better than his opponents. I feel like he's the 100 bullets of MMA. You know what I'm saying? Getting robbed. Anyways, all right, enough of that. Next, Jason McDonald, Tom Lawler. That was pretty quick. This was a one where I'm like, all right, I picked Tom Lawler. I'm worried that Jason McDonald can maybe get a sweep, submit Tom Lawler. Didn't happen. It was quick. Jason McDonald kind of woke up right away. He's like, man, I'm good. I can't even believe this happened. Yeah, it happened, dog. It would happen really quick. 50 seconds. Solid win or a good win for Tom Lawler. Brad Tavares, Dong Yang. I'm not going to complain about this decision. It could have gone either way. You knew if it was close, though, it was not going to the Asian. And when your last name is Yang, that's Asian. So you just can't let it happen. I'm pretty sure if I take a real look at this, didn't he have a bad decision in the past too? Let me see. They all, I say they, Asians, they've all had a bunch of bad decisions. His Court McGee one was a legitimate loss. Pretty sure it's the Chris Camozzi. But anyways, yeah, I think that was a brutal, disgusting decision, actually, now that I think about it. Anyways, I was rooting for Cody McKenzie. I picked Cody McKenzie. I do like one-dimensional jiu-jitsu players. It was looking like a bad situation for him. And, Levisser, big into wrestling. He just got real comfortable. It's like he only had, honestly, here's a situation. It's not even like it's your leg or an arm or something like that. It's your neck. Protecting your neck is like the easiest thing to do. I'm saying from honestly, from from experience. I got a big neck though, so maybe it's easier for me. Maybe I had a little skinny teeny neck, but it doesn't look like Levister is the kind of guy that has a skinny teeny neck. Anyways, all he had to do was not leave his neck out. He was just like got real comfortable and just sat there. Meanwhile, Cody McKenzie's like, really? All right, well, I'm just gonna sit up. And people don't even get submissions like this. You know, you're on your back, the guy's on top. You don't just sit up from your back and get a guillotine. Like, it doesn't happen. Catch you in transition or something. No, he just sat up. All right, well, I'm going to put my arm around. You can stop me whenever you want. Nope. All right, I'm going to tuck it under. You're going to stop me? Nope. All right, I'm going to grab this hand now. Yeah. All right, I'm going to start pulling up now. That's it? Wow. Yo, what was that? Oh, yeah, by the way, Sung Jung. Whoa, I just got to say, I forgot about that. Beautiful. Poirier went for that takedown, and Sung Jung just did the immediate reversal right into mount. Woo! That was dope. All right, anyways, bringing it back. TJ Grant owned Carlo Prater. We knew that was going to happen. Congratulations. Rafael Dos Anjos, we knew you were going to own Kamal Shalorus. Congratulations. Johnny Eduardo, Jeff Curran. All right, so let's take a look at the situation here. Jeff Curran must not want to be in the UFC. All right, comes to the UFC, tough fight. He's not going to beat Scott Jorgensen. But then you got Johnny Eduardo. Okay, so what do we got? We got Jeff Curran, 49 fights, 1 win by knockout, 19 by submission. 19. Second degree black belt. 19 wins by submission. Tell me why you're not going for a submission until the end of the second round. Or a takedown. Why have you not shot a takedown to the end of the second round? Makes no sense. Then you've got Eduardo, 26 wins, 35 fights, 13 by submission. So I want to know why y'all clowns are standing around throwing punches and kicks. I understand sometimes they say, cancel each other out. Man, F all that, man. If you have been fighting for 10, 11, 12 years, and you go out there, 1 knockout in all those years and 19 submissions, get that fight to the ground, man. So you know what, Jeff? You got to go. You already been fighting forever. So, being in the UFC, that ain't no big deal. So must not be. So, you've been fighting since 1998. So, I don't know. Maybe you just wanted to be in the UFC and retire. I don't know. But you got to go and remember who you are and then start trying to submit people again. All right? Alex Soto, Francisco Rivera, good win for Francisco Rivera. So there you go. UFC, blase. The next card, UFC 146. When is that? May 26th. All right, we got finally the ending. We can find out, is it going to be Josh Barnett or Cormier? I might have to make that video tonight. Damn, probably do. I'm going to make that right now. At least while everything's working. Let's not, do anything stupid. All right. And then, So, BetMMA.ca, sign up, get on the forums. What questions do you want me to ask me, State? All right. Also, what do you want me to talk about in the first ever episode of Bet MMA Radio? There you go. MMA, it's important. Peace.